You are listening to DC On Screen.
All right, starting up this episode of DC On Screen, I'm David C. Robertson here with Jason Goss.
Hello.
And Effie Ophelders.
Hello.
You are in my place.
I am here. I'm physically next to you.
Fleshed.
It's weird.
I'm
Be
using
fleshing.
the same bathroom. It is weird.
Why do you go to using the same bathroom?
Because I felt like that would fit this show's, sense of humor.
Maybe.
It's true.
See?
It's true.
It's not mean or anything. It's
We
just,
do typically mention the general state of it about halfway
factual.
through.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost an update.
So-
Did we do that in our early 30s? Or did we do that in our 30s or our teens when it feels like this show started?
Did we do what?
Mention our bladders so much and they're...
Oh. I don't know.
Maybe what was attached
I
to
would
them.
have to go back and listen to old episodes, and for me, that is torment.
I mean, in the last 10 years, the movie length went up, and I assume our pelvic floors have suffered, so...
Lord knows my pelvic floor has suffered.
The combination thereof is not going to be good.
Okay. You guys want to do the show?
Yeah.
Oh, right. There was DC stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, there's DC stuff that we need to catch up on. I was looking around at some of our old reviews, just kind of haphazardly the other day, and saw one that
Actually
I had
looking or
forgotten
just
about.
thinking about them at 2:30 in the morning?
No. Well, it was about 2:30 in the morning, but
That one
That's just
5-star
morning
review
to you. That's
telling us
afternoon
to fuck off.
times.
yeah, I came upon one that was like they were mad. They were writing a negative review, because we had said
course.
something anti-Trump,
Yeah.
Yeah, who
And,
does that? Same people?
Lots of people. About half the country.
Yeah, hopefully slightly more.
Hopefully.
That'd be nice.
And
Otherwise, you guys are
it has to be
ruining
the
my
right
vacation.
slightly more, or it doesn't matter. It's crazy.
yeah, but in the review, this person was going like, just pulling out all the stops to be shitty, and they were like, "Yeah, I mostly just listen to these two in the background. All they do is regurgitate what other podcasts have said." And I was like, I remember talking about this on the show and being like, I do not regurgitate what other podcasts say. I don't listen to other podcasts.
Exactly. I'm usually like, oh, you guys are really different in this opinion than everybody else, because I do listen to other shows. And
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice.
It is good.
yeah,
That is awesome.
But
I listen to them later in the queue. Don't be offended.
Yeah.
You,
much like-
I am not offended.
no, that works out because that's how long it takes us to get our news out.
Yeah, we fucking take a long time.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
good.
But usually you do find more shit that other people have just skipped over. So
That is generally my point of pride.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, we've got a few more points though. Assholes.
you missed this.
The benefit of letting the sand settle down a little bit here.
And
As well.
we have benefited from it numbers wise. No, we haven't.
Yeah. No, alarmist
you've
would have been the way to
benefited from
go
the
if that
other-
was solely what we were going for.
We should have
Yeah.
been fostering hate. We would have been so much more popular.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang it.
And every episode should be named, "This episode will change your life."
Right. Like,
I feel
14
like
reasons
you're
why.
I feel like you're describing a DC show I'm not listening to.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure it exists because I listen to a lot of it. But also there's not as much as there used to be.
it's like James Gunn is masturbating on baby cheetahs.
I mean, have you seen those pelts? Like the little patterns.
Uh-huh.
It's cute as shit. I get
Yeah.
it.
That's weird.
Now, technically, they're not of age, so I don't condone
You know
the
what?
behavior.
You know what? I'm officially okay with kink shaming now.
It
Finally!
happened so fast.
It did. All it took
we
was
got
Effie.
there.
There was a
Yeah.
shark, it jumped,
It's what
and
I'm
here
here
we
for.
are.
The shark jumped and I came. And then that was a problem.
And everyone
that's
learned
why
a
you
very
need shark
important
repellent
lesson.
bat spray.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, what were we saying about starting the show? Oh, yeah. We got a show to start.
Just
This show.
shove some news at us. So
Here's some news. Hopefully, roughly in order of when it will be coming out.
that would be a win.
That'd be neat.
Watchmen Chapter 2, which, you know what? I've seen some people saying is like been pushed back to 2025. I see no evidence of that other than just weird sites saying it. IMDb is still saying November 26th, 2024. So that's what I'm going by.
Yeah.
If there's not an official update, it's not moved.
Right.
That's weird. Yeah.
So we saw a trailer that came out a few weeks ago for Chapter 2.
Mm-hmm.
How are y'all feeling?
It looked slightly clunkier than the first one. Now, I haven't seen the first movie entirely yet because I was waiting for part 2. But I've seen that trailer, and then this one, it was slightly more apparent to me that there were just some movements that felt kind of squarish, kind of robot-y. Because I liked the look a lot more in the first half, I guess. And I still like the animation, but it's the Rorschach fight at the jail is just kind of weird. But then other bits of action from the prison escape seem fine.
Yeah.
So it's kind of up and down in that regard. But the voice acting still seems on point.
Well, I didn't like the line "You're locked up in here with me." I don't like the Rorschach voice.
No. That was kind of an under
throw off for me too. I agree. It's odd.
Yeah. But I do agree some of the animation looks very rigid. The gravity seems a bit off. I mean, it does look a lot like the comic, and I do understand the people who are like, "Oh, it looks like a Telltale game animation." It kind of does.
I guess, but still, it's nice to have something that is just a straight adaptation for people in our lives who refuse to read a good book.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't get around to reading, and I do want her to know of Watchmen.
Yeah.
The real version.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you can't watch the HBO show, and you need to watch the HBO show. And
that one's
the rabbit hole goes deep.
Yeah. I mean, if you just watch, like, I'm always going to be fine with the edit for the Snyder version of this, but yeah.
Oh,
what are you going to do with the squids if you don't know
why
you got to know why the squid?
Yeah. So if you're looking for the trailer, you want an easy access point, I will have it in the show notes. Both the red band and the clean version if you're a cloistered little lamb. Not wanting to sully yourself.
There isn't a clean cut of the movie, right? Like
probably not.
Yeah, so
probably not, but
for the kids who want to have something to look forward to.
Yeah, I don't know why they would even bother with a clean version of the trailer, honestly.
No, not sure either.
Whatever. I thought it was odd that it was there.
It borderline feels like giving out, drugs and like Halloween candy kind of thing. Like, what are you doing?
Microdosing the trick-and-treaters. Yeah.
Like, why would you show me a clean version of this when I get to the real one? There's gonna be
blood splatter,
millions of people dead, gruesome deaths, and giant blue dick, and that's what we all know.
Oh, right, I forget the dick is a problem.
Giant, hilariously blue dick.
I mean, is it that big in this iteration? I didn't pay attention to the dick.
It's just the growing part that cracks me up every time.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I didn't pay attention to the dick either.
Yeah, well, but it does grow at a certain point. That's fair. That's accurate representation of the story.
It's just a part that's always cracked me up about his moving around the size thing. I mean, I finally got to see what I don't know, what my version of that joke in a Rick and Morty episode later.
Oh,
with the giant floating corpse.
Oh, right.
Of course, yeah.
Very early Rick and Morty.
I was about to say I watched all of it and recently, relatively speaking, and just forgot that one. But that is early on, so it makes sense.
Which makes my brain dolphin over to the Dr. Evil spaceship that looks like a cock and balls.
Oh, of course. Yes, yeah.
All right, Creature Commandos coming out December 5th, 2024. New York Comic Con, they dropped a new trailer. What are we thinking, y'all?
Love it.
This looks great.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
It does, yeah. This is exciting. Like, it's not the mainstream general audience launch of the universe, but for us way too in the know geeks, it is very, very fun to have something to look forward to, like coming out again and being connected to something, and very much being in the vein of Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad, and still very much connected to that universe as well. But that's the slightest of indication where things are eventually going to go, and reference the still sort of included stuff. So I'm down.
Yeah, I right out of the gate, Cersei's being a badass. We get Kongorilla, the golden gorilla, who is murdered instantly in the trailer.
I am very happy you knew who that was, because I didn't.
Yes, I do. But a while back, James Gunn was pointing out that like there were like DC comic book covers that had gorillas, like the stories that were about gorillas, like they sold way better than anything else.
So there were a dozen of them.
So everybody wanted like a gorilla every month, and they put down like, okay, no one can have, there's only one title a month can have a gorilla until like 1 month out of the year where all of them have to have gorillas.
Oh, that's great.
But there's so many like gorillas acting like, or human acting gorillas in the DC universe. And then James Gunn came out and explained that and was like, by the way, there will be no gorilla limitations in the DCU.
Woo!
Except he just killed one of them really quickly.
Yeah, go figure.
Nice.
There's the one on My Adventures with Superman, and I forget which one it is.
Oh, I haven't watched it yet. I've watched like the first 5 or 6 episodes, and then I got like Bethany wanted to watch it, so I stopped watching it, and we'll get to it.
Sure. I haven't finished the second season, so I'm not up to date either.
Yeah,
but
I was
I'm
only about an episode into that one, I think.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, where's Congo Bill? Like that was Congorilla's sidekick or whatever.
Oh no. The sidekick is now lonesome.
Yeah, well, dead, it would appear.
Oh, this is the sidekick.
Yeah, Kongorilla, the golden gorilla. Yeah.
It's Congo Bill's sidekick. Fair
Yeah,
enough. Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I twisted that around for a second.
I'm not sure, like, what we're looking at. It looked like a Cyclops rubber duck in there. Like, Nosferatu was there. Chemo was there in the trailer, in the Belle Rev.
I'll just pretend I know all of them. A Cyclops rubber duck. I didn't.
I'm only
see
about half right now from what's been mentioned.
Yeah, Zoo Crew.
I mean, I'm familiar with chemo, but usually, someone's having cancer treatment.
Yeah, this is like he's like toxic radiation incarnate. Like
that makes sense.
Yeah, he's like a big green glob of toxicity.
It also sucks, but has
Lovely.
less interest in your continued future.
But no, it basically there was like a duck there that only had in the Belle Rev or Belle Reve, and it had one eye, which threw me off. I was like, if it had 2 eyes, I would think it was like a Zoo Crew reference to Rubber Duck, but he only had the one eye, so I don't know.
And the other eye wasn't on the other side of his head?
No, it was like a very centered Leela-looking eyeball.
Okay.
That's where I was going with it mentally. Thank you.
I know. By the way,
but was the rubber duck as intentionally attractive as Leela?
No.
Just making sure.
By the way, Jason,
if I need to go back for it,
you should just like, I don't know, find a god to pray to that I become rich.
I often do,
because
but
why? Yesterday we were at Second and Charles, and I saw like it was like $125, but it was a badass Shaun of the Dead figure.
Oh, that one, yeah.
It was awesome, and I was like, I want to buy that for Jason.
who of? Sean himself?
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Bloodied, cricket bat in hand.
From the distance I was standing, I'm not sure he was bloodied, but he looked like he had the appropriate accoutrement.
Nice.
Anyway, back to this Creature Commandos trailer. It looks like Rupert Thorne is here, and it looks like he's directly responsible for Dr. Phosphorus becoming powered. That's a shift, but I like it. I'm loving like the family flashbacks. Like we are, as they put it, hyperbolically violent is what this trailer is going for. But there are lots of like hints at really touching family shit, like touching backstory.
It is very clear they're going for like, we'll have a flashback for each and every one of them, and you will care.
Like, yeah,
Weasel will have a story that will make you cry. That's the sense I'm getting from Gunn in this trailer.
Gonna James Gunn your ass so hard.
like the bullying of Nina as well.
Yes,
like that
I'm going
looks,
to love her.
Oh God. But already, I'm gonna say GI Robot is quickly becoming my favorite. I thought it was gonna be Dr. Phosphorus because of Alan Tudyk, but GI Robot is
Absolutely amazing.
really up there.
It's still a close race, but I feel you.
Like, die Nazi. He's not a Nazi, GI. Okay. Like, I love a lot of the aesthetic here when Dr. Phosphorus like puts his fist through that soldier. They had so much Kirby crackle, dude.
Yes.
Like, oh my god.
You're right. I didn't think to like connect those dots, but it's true. Oh.
And they just like threw Clayface in here. Like, I think this is one of our first real Batman villains in this universe.
Oh damn!
True.
How I deliberately did not pause it as much as you clearly have to like notice everything because I was like, Rupert Thorne, really? Dang. Okay.
I was just thinking with Rupert, I would not want to be in this company. Get out, Rupert.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
right.
Go threaten another corner of your own home. Get out of here.
I even like the little Young Love Easter egg. Did you catch that, Jason? The bride is reading Young Love, which was it was an old thing. It was Jack Kirby and Joe Simon did this book called Young Romance that was a big success, and Crestwood and Prize started Young Love as an attempt to capitalize on that. And it ran in 1977. DC owned it for a while, but yeah, it's just an old comic that
One of those deep cuts that is very Gunn.
Yeah, and there was they did a recent version of it with like the bride on the cover, so that's a thing,
of course.
But yeah, that trailer just looks so good to me.
It's absolutely great. Like, for everything we could nitpick about the animation in the Watchmen thing, this has none of that. It just looks very, very good for a TV show that's animated. Like, I get HBO's money, but damn.
It also kind of looks stylized like old MTV animated series. Like,
sure, but like in a really good way.
Yeah, in a really good way, like Aeon Flux or the Spawn or the Mac Show.
Reminds me of.
Oh, okay. I can kind of see that.
Specifically the shot with the eyeballs flying out.
Actually, you know what that reminded me of was that reminded me of the Tick from the old Tick cartoon from Fox Kids.
Oh God, yeah.
I wasn't allowed to watch Fox Kid as a kid. You know, it was a rough time.
Did you have Fox Kids?
That existed for a bit in my childhood. Yeah,
that would have been strange. Yeah, but
I don't know. Like at
you
that
definitely missed out on
moment
that
in my life, I had no connection to Fox. What is that? Is that connected to anything? Is that terrible for the world? No, it was just a kids channel that existed for a while and then was renamed like 3 more times.
Yeah. At the time that was more the case.
Yeah.
Before it was ominous.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a kid, I didn't know yet what would become.
These days, Fox Kids is just Tucker Carlson being like, "Hello, boys and girls."
Just puts on a more colorful bow tie.
Have you heard of Alex Jones?
Yeah.
Well, he was right about 9/11.
Oh,
Your parent just heard jet fuel from another room and come running. No.
As they should.
Or hell yeah, depending on your parents.
That's true. It's a very divided country.
Yeah. All right. So we already knew that Steve G was coming back from Suicide Squad and Peacemaker as Economos, and Maria Bakalova from Guardians Volume 3 was voicing Princess Ilana and Anya Chalothra, I guess, as Circe. And but Gunn did announce that we're going to get Michael Rooker on Creature Commandos.
Okay.
Linda Cardellini. Peter Serafinowicz. Those are undisclosed roles.
Dang it.
Excited about all 3 of them.
Yeah.
And Benjamin Byron Davis as Rupert Thorne.
All right.
In Creature Commandos.
So he's not going to take my advice.
No.
Dumb fuck.
Absolutely. I think Rupert Thorne, the character from Batman the Animated Series, that version of him has probably one of my most oft-quoted lines, which is... the brighter the picture, the darker the negative.
That's a good line.
He has his hench people looking for dirt on Harvey Dent. They're like,
right, yeah. That,
of course.
Dent so clean he squeaks.
Yeah.
Of course.
Keep digging. Remember, Candace, the brighter the picture, the darker the negative.
And it sure was.
Yeah, it was. It was very dark. Alrighty. So he also talked about the Creature Commandos tone and aesthetic. I would say we've talked about this before. He's talked about this before.
Yeah.
He says every single project out of the DC studios is going to be its own thing. The tones will differ between Superman, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, the Lanterns. He says it's a connected universe, but we're not imposing any overall aesthetic. And executive producer Dean Lorey of the Creature Commandos said that the aesthetic of Creature Commandos is Eastern European. We were looking to do something that was sort of grounded, but with some style to it. It's got a lot of really dark tones. The palettes are really cool, but as you can see, it's very action-oriented. It sets itself apart from, say, Harley Quinn and those kind of shows. It feels more adult. Alan Tudyk said it is an adult show, and it has all the adult things. One of those things is sex.
Hot! Sorry.
Laurie said maybe the one thing that this series has in common with Harley and to some extent Kite Man, even though those are pretty clearly comedies, we took them seriously dramatically. We took the relationships very seriously when there was a death or anything like that, but we wanted people to feel it. So that was a little bit of a crossover because this gave us an opportunity to more fully do that than we could do in a pure comedy. All of that sounds good to me. I know we're not like crazy. We're from America, so we're not crazy about just having cartoon characters having sex. But
have you
I'm
been
curious.
on the internet? You guys are leading the world in having cartoon characters do sexy stuff.
Yeah, but not where we're going to have to talk about it publicly and admit that we like it.
No.
Right.
We're
right.
repressed.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is for closed doors only.
No, this is also DC on Screen, where we genuinely do feel uncomfortable when Bruce Timm produces anything anymore because of his obsession with nipples.
That is
absolutely.
True. That is true.
But that is
we
just
eventually
fair.
became the
It
prudes
is
we
not
hated.
how anything works. Yeah.
But I think I'm becoming more acclimated to it because I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah, it's
care.
easier to ignore.
Especially like with things like Harley Quinn, where they say fuck every 5 seconds, and they're just like murdering people, and then Harley pulls down her top for a second and they like blur it out. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Agreed.
What do you think you're gaining?
Yeah.
But at the same time, despite it being undoubtedly TVMA, like the sex scene is not going to be full frontal nudity. I doubt it.
Although that is the funniest
not
way.
in the same way that I expect it to be handled the way it would be in an R-rated movie.
Yeah, maybe, probably.
But like it's still not X-rated.
I expect
ass
to
cheeks
see
and side boob. Yep.
I expect to see the wart on the dick hitting that clit. That's what I'm.
Is that how you have sex?
No.
No, okay, just because it feels very specific. I don't
on
think
how-
I've ever had anyone describe the act like that.
I sincerely just thought of the most grotesque thing I could imagine at the moment.
Fair enough.
That's what most of my humor is.
Yeah.
I know, but in that regard, I'm glad you didn't go further, but I feel like there could be more grotesque shit.
I mean, at the climax, the wart begins to bleed and pop.
I shouldn't have pried. I really shouldn't poke the bear like this.
No, it'll keep going. Yeah. It will you'll die on that hill.
I've listened to hours of this podcast. Trust me, I know it will go on.
And this very conversation and your usage of not poking the bear is what will start the wave across the world. Women will stop choosing the bear.
Eventually.
Yeah. I mean,
The bear pokes back.
most bears are only interested in twinks anyway. Like,
I've heard.
yeah. They won't, like,
It's a classic pairing.
what are women supposed to do? You know?
I know. I mean, is that the bear they've been talking about this whole time?
I don't think so, because in that case, it would just be a bad choice all around, and they'd have to guess which one's the bear and which one's legitimately just a hairy cishet guy, and at that point, you're fucked.
Well,
I don't think that's what most people were answering.
I know.
Like they didn't picture that. Oh. But I'm picturing it now, so
yeah, it's all good. We all get there eventually.
I mean, truly around here, you could easily disguise yourself as a bear, or if you are a bear, because basically everyone here looks like just a slightly overlarge bearded dude.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
That's what I'm... Like, if you're in the woods, how are you... Like, you need to interact with them to find out which one, is a bit fruity. And
we have real woods.
And
you can
that's
just
a
hop
risk
into
to take.
with bears.
Yeah. That too. Oof.
I feel like we should talk about the next thing.
That's fair.
Right. DC stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. On to a thing that Batman. On to a thing that Jason's gonna hate. Batman Ninja versus Yakuza League trailer. We finally got the big bad. We know who's pulling the strings for the Yakuza Justice League. Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah. I figured that was him.
Yeah, I think it looks fun. I know, Jason.
Yeah, it probably is fun. Honestly, I thought the last half of that trailer was a parody for a minute.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, I felt that way when they were like looking up at the sky and they're like, it's the Japanese hills or whatever. And I was like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I am just
Someone just
utterly
said, throw
confused,
every
as I
trope
often
at
am.
this IP and see what happens. All right.
Fair enough. I don't
Yeah.
know half of the tropes, so I'm just confuzzled.
Well, it's all like anime
That's my
tropes.
response to anime, yeah.
Yeah, it's all anime tropes. So it's like, the mech, the giant mech
Of course.
robot
there has to be.
things and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Yeah.
The music
I-
really cracked me up halfway through.
To me,
Was the
that
point
just
where it just turned on me.
the music was just like it was like The Godfather or something.
I mean, that felt just very anime. Like,
Did it?
most of those Japanese trailers have, like, a song in the middle of it where you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This
Yeah.
is very, very Japanese.
There's a guitar and a lady singing about halfway through any of those.
Oh, that.
Yeah, I figured that was the song.
No. I was thinking about like when at the end it's like "Wah-na, wah-na, wah-na, wah." It just sounded like The Godfather. It sounded like some
okay.
like
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Sure.
Italian music, like someone was about to sit down and eat spaghetti and order a hit on somebody.
Yeah.
Like
I'd watch that movie.
I would. I mean, I think you're watching The Penguin, aren't you?
Yeah.
So
I am watching The Penguin.
That's all happening.
There is disappointingly little spaghetti so far.
Oh man.
We just spent
Yeah.
some time with Rupert Thorne. That should shore up the numbers also. Like, yeah, we got plenty of possible spaghetti time.
I'm just thinking about how I'm hungry now.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's not
I'm
good.
like, could we get spaghetti? I don't know. Oh well.
I'm going to Walmart after this. Ha
Ha pasta.
Flavin. Superman.
I've heard of that.
Coming
I
out
know one.
July 11th. July 11th, 2025.
Yeah.
Gunn says that it won't be too long before the first Superman movie trailer, but it also won't be too soon. Then in threads, when asked about the progress of the Superman trailer and whether it was finished, he said, "It's not. I worked on it this weekend." That was just a few days ago.
Very exciting. The man works weekends.
Yeah.
I know. And he did say that in regards to Metamorpho, they are taking the practical effects route.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing.
Interesting, though.
So, I'm a big action figure collector.
Mm.
And someone messaged Gunn and said, "James, there are some toys and figures related to Superman that are potentially leaking big spoilers for the film. They are ruining the excitement for the movie. What do you have to say about these toy spoilers?" And Gunn says, "I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I have to okay all of the toys, and I don't think any of them spoil anything." And because Gunn said that, I'm going to say them on the show.
Yay! Spoilers incoming. Maybe. Who knows?
Gunn says they're not spoilers.
Exactly. We're fine.
It's definitely stuff that we
we
didn't-
also already spoiled the ending of Watchmen. There's a squid.
That's true.
Yeah.
So that just feels rude. Sorry.
Which was weird because
So-
they actually did set that trailer up as some, like, detective thriller.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was very like, see how it ends.
It was a whodunit kind of thing. I'm like, that's not
Yeah.
the vibe I get
Yes.
from reading these, but okay. This is
It is the first time.
it's a philosophy textbook with
guess.
superheroes, but okay. Yeah.
Yep. So we've got a list of what McFarlane Toys is doing, what they're putting out here. It's just a list, no pictures. It says DC Theatrical Deluxe 7-inch Wave 1, Superman with Crypto, Superman movie.
Unexpected.
Yeah, that's obvious. Then they have a Deluxe 7-inch Wave 1 Lex Luthor with Baby Kaiju.
That is
Okay.
lovely, like non-specificity. Jesus. Like, what kind of kaiju? Where does it come from?
I don't know, but it's a baby kaiju.
There is a kaiju involved,
That's just
I
the
guess.
list. Like, this is
This is the title of the figure. Yeah.
Yeah, it says, yeah. And then DC Theatrical Deluxe 7-inch Wave 1 Ultraman Superman movie. Now, we've been in the spoilers with the set leaks.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen someone who he looks like Black Noir from The Boys, but people have been calling him Ultraman. I think this might be the first indication that we actually have an Ultraman officially. But I doubt he will be like an Earth 3 Ultraman. I think he will wind up becoming Bizarro or some shit.
Oh,
I think it's going to be like a Lex clone.
That could be. Because I love like Earth 3 shit. That's great, but I doubt it too, because otherwise we'd have a full league of them.
Yeah.
It'd be a hell of a way to start a universe is, by the way,
it's here's the Mirrorverse. Yeah, like, oof.
Mm-hmm.
So Baby Kaiju then is still, we're still in, but if he's cloning Ultraman, then like, it's like a little tiny bad experiment?
I don't know. I don't know how, we don't know how serious this is. I mean, this is a full-grown man who is he is dressed like Black Noir. We cannot see his face, so we don't know what he looks like in the set leaks. So, but there is a character called Ultraman, and he's getting an action figure. Then they have like the normal line, 7-inch Superman movie Superman, 7-inch Superman movie Metamorpho, which we know, 12-inch Superman, of course. Then they have the mega figure, which is a kaiju.
Again.
I guess the mother kaiju.
Okay.
It better be.
And then we move over to the DC Direct line, and they have Metamorpho. This is like the superpowers, the 5-inch figures that we sporadically collect. They've got a Metamorpho. They have a Guy Gardner Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific. They have the Mr. Terrific T-Craft, which is fun. They even have an Ultraman for that, it looks like. Mm-hmm. They also have a vinyl figure for something called Baby Joe from the Superman movie, but they also have a baby kaiju.
Kaiju and Joe.
So there's a Baby Joe, and there's also a baby kaiju.
Uh-huh.
Whatever, I just wanted to have a little pet Doomsday.
That'd be something.
That would be fun.
I mean, just
Joe...
like the little backwards shot they gave us of Corn Sweat and Crypto now, but
yeah,
arm over his little shoulder.
So, I read it because Gunn said he didn't think it spoiled anything.
Okay. I mean...
It just made me go, wait, what?
But who does Baby Joe grow into? Is that a tiny Ultraman clone? Is that a, like... Because Kaiju becomes Kaiju, maybe. Like, that would make sense, but...
I mean, unless, like, Lex captured a Kaiju, like a baby Kaiju, and the mother Kaiju is after him.
But where would he get a baby Kaiju?
It's the DC universe. Anything is possible.
Yeah, sure, anything is possible, but I don't know. I'd expect something more directly. Oh, I know that from the comics than just random kaiju walking around. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know this. Like, I'm imagining like a Godzilla, but it might not be a Godzilla.
It could be any shape of kaiju.
Yeah, it could be anything.
It might just be a very. But they will put it out under this name, right? So it can't quite be a hidden name of like, oh, it's a kaiju, but we'll give it the proper name when you know which character it is.
I'd like to think it's worse. It's just that the factory's going to repaint some baby kaijus from another line entirely.
That would be funny.
I don't
close
think
enough
that's
style.
It is McFarlane. I don't think they'll do that.
Also, it's like one of the figures was Lex with baby kaiju, so it has to be part of the set. So it like at that point you're inserting a kaiju into a Lex that is in the movie, so it has to be something. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how it's not a spoiler. He didn't tell us it was a Pacific Rim crossover until just now.
Kaiju pre-exists Pacific Rim, my friend.
I
thought they invented them.
However, it does mean there's more Japanese shit that you're going to be upset with.
Yeah. If we're talking Godzilla Road here, then sounds great. But...
Well, it might be a very Western-looking kaiju just for, the upset voters.
Yeah, it's just... It's a fat armadillo with a beer.
Yeah.
At this point, it's just the
Something
Thanksgiving
like
Day parade that we're really talking about here.
Yeah. He just hisses at you when you get close to his limited edition Pamela Anderson Playboy from the 90s.
Naturally.
You should.
You say, "You get away from my Pam.
You gotta be careful with those things these days.
You won't convince me her titties ain't real."
I mean, define real.
Not then, not now, baby.
You're not gonna feel the difference, so don't complain. You know.
Oh, very much so.
All right.
The amount of
moving over to
times that I
Peacemaker.
don't know if I've been fooled.
Peacemaker Season 2. Gunn is teasing a very different season that's very magical. Mm-hmm. He says he has a way in to connect the DCEU and the DCU, and it won't be confusing. So I'm good. Whatever. I'm not
We'll
confused
find out.
already.
Yeah.
I read DC Comics, so I have at least 20 different ways I can imagine that happening, and I'm probably going to be wrong.
Yeah.
It's the thing I'm most curious about is how we're going to build this weird little bridge going into the new universe. That's just it's going to be a fun little time.
So right before, like the night before New York Comic Con, he was directing an episode. Gunn was directing an episode, and he says that Superbad and Nobody Wants This director Greg Mottola directed 2 of the best Peacemaker episodes ever. And he says, John Cena has, honestly, I've never seen anyone who has gotten so much better at acting in such a short amount of time. He was great in the first season. This season, he owns it, and he's amazing. I'm sold on Peacemaker. Like, I'm going to watch the absolute shit out of that no matter what.
Yeah. First season blew us all away.
Over to Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which comes out June 26, 2026 so far. Mm-hmm. They have added a few people since I think the last time we talked about it. Now, Deadline is saying that the studio cast three body problem star Eve Ridley in the role of Ruthye Mary Knoll. That's a character from the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow book by Tom King. Mm-hmm. And Rust and Bones Matthias Shonen Arts as Krim. I think we talked about that.
I would be remiss not to say that his name is Matthias Schoenaerts.
Okay.
That's one of ours.
Good for you. More power to you.
Thank God it was said correctly.
Yeah. Here's what I'm going to do. And by here's what I'm going to do, I mean, I'm not going to do this, but it would be a great idea. I just want to take your clip of you saying it. Every time we bring him up on the show, just have you cut in.
Yeah.
And now I might actually do it.
It sounds fun.
It does sound fun. But
like if we were
I'll give
morning
you a clean
DJs,
one,
just make it a one of the little bumper pads you keep hitting, like the soundboard thing.
Yeah. So Matthias is playing Krim of the Yellow Hills, and I think we talked about that before, but James Gunn has now since confirmed that both of them are in the movie. They're both those are real castings, and I don't know them, but I'm happy for it. I love that we're actually staying somewhat close enough to be casting direct characters from that story.
Yeah, I'm still surprised how direct of an adaptation this appears to be.
Yeah.
Like it's really shaping up like this is the fucking story we're doing. And that's exciting because it's a good book, but also it's interesting because we haven't really had that before. Like, I'm sure there will be some twists and turns, but some slight tweaks, some padding, who knows. But at its core, like, usually it's like we've made an amalgamation of 8 other storylines you might not have heard about.
Yeah. I'm down for this. Like, this is one of the most. What's great about Woman of Tomorrow or one of the things that's great about it anyway, is that it doesn't feel like you could have just altered the supporting characters and stuck Superman in there, and it would have been a Superman story. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is a Supergirl story that really.
Kind of has
it
to
really
be.
leans on who she is and why she's different than him.
It is very, very. I can't think of the word I'm looking for.
Bespoke?
For some reason. Huh?
Bespoke?
No, I'm never thinking of that word.
Could be anything. It's not
Either
bespoke.
It is syncretic.
Either way, it's just very independently Supergirl, and not here is an overpowered person from Krypton fighting a kaiju or something. And I know that's bad timing.
It feels like a shot. A very specifically aimed.
No.
I know.
I mean, what has he got? Kryptonite, a giant alien ship, or a fucking kaiju. That's all Superman really has, or a magic person, you know?
Yeah.
Doomsday is a kaiju in this.
He is, though.
Yeah, I mean, it is, sure.
He is.
I don't know. I haven't read the fucking dictionary definition of kaiju in a while.
Yeah, I mean, well, at some
Big,
a
ghoulish,
certain point he
scary
becomes
thing.
that. It's like he's just like Parasite. Like the more you fight him, the stronger he gets,
Yeah.
and then he turns into a damn kaiju. He
Yeah.
winds up just being really big and armored.
And you know, it
That's
really
a
is
good
kind of
look.
ghoulish now I think about it,
Yeah.
because it's kind of the Voorhees thing. It's the scariest part is just nothing stops it.
Yeah, that's true.
And we've unlocked it, guys.
Spooky.
We got it. Congratulations.
We did it.
We did a thing. I'm not sure what, but yes.
Someone break out some sparkling Welshes.
All right, I think it's a good time to go to break.
All right, there's a break in this show.
There is a break in the show.
It's now.
I need to start building in more because Spreaker wants to like put so many fucking ads in our show now.
Yeah.
And I keep like telling him no. I feel like there's going to be some repercussion at some point where they're just like, okay, you have to leave our program.
Yeah.
But can't they just put all the ads right now in a row so people can skip through them at once?
It would be most convenient for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone would like that best.
But it won't let me do that. I have
dang it.
tried.
Dang it.
I have tried. It won't let me like. Yeah, you have to go a certain amount of time, and then like the certain amount of time it is just annoying. So I just make Spreaker angry because I'm like, I just don't want that many ads in the show.
Yeah.
But anyway,
That's fine.
It'd
We
probably
can
help our Patreon.
Well, sure. We can
It
just
would,
like
'cause it would
continue
be
to
annoying.
mismanage our bodies, and that'll make more breaks for
Yeah.
us. And
So here's the thing: if all of a sudden there are just so many fucking ads, it's unbearable. It's because Spreaker made us, and I'm not going over to another place.
or that one of us
It
actually
was-
finally did get a major illness and just has to take a lot of breaks.
Well, maybe, but
Or really needs you to go to the Patreon to, fix the medical bills.
they've been creating this show with AI for 5 years. Jason and I died in a terrible car accident. And they were like, no, we need to make $103 a month and then give them like $20 of it.
Why
Right.
do y'all think we bring
Quote,
up this old
unquote.
Paul is dead thing all the time?
I
Because we William Campbell our asses out of this bitch a long time ago.
see. Up until a week ago, I might have believed this theory, but right now, if you are an AI I'm talking to, there is a very good robot flesh suit attached.
That's the trick. 'Cause
Yes,
you didn't
but
see the previous one.
Yeah. Also, what you're not considering is that all of this is a simulation.
You're right.
And
you're
you
right.
yourself are an NPC.
I am. No. I'm not an NPC. I'm directing the Matrix movie within the Matrix because I'm
okay.
trans. That's how it works.
That's fair.
Gotcha.
That's fair.
I'll accept that. Whatever you identify, I'm good with. But yeah, let's go to break real quick, and then we'll come back and finish up this turd of an episode.
There you go.
Real quick, we did it.
Yay!
Pinch that loaf. And now it's time for Effie's bathroom break simulation ruminations.
See y'all soon.
See, he says see, but I can't see shit. It's audio.
Simulation. You're
God-
not seeing anything anyway.
But if it was a simulation, it would be easier to, it could just be there. Well, the listeners can, I don't know, help me scroll Insta on my phone or swipe Tinder. I don't know. What do people do in breaks? I'm bored already. As it turns out, in this simulation, there is actually a floor underneath the view I usually have of this room when I record with Dave. So I am happy to discover it wasn't a void. There was just, action figures in the background and then void underneath. It turned out he had legs, I'd never seen them before. So you live and you learn. Also, I know he's never gonna, fully listen to recordings. Hi!
Is he back already?
No, it's not.
Oh, who are you talking to?
Myself.
That's creepy.
It is.
Why the fuck would you talk to yourself like that?
To leave you a voicemail in the form of a recording. I don't know. And I was just saying that I realized that you don't listen to the full recording, so you might never find out.
Probably not.
Exactly.
I mean, I guess I will now.
Yeah, now you have
Jesus
to.
Christ.
I am here to, saddle you with extra work.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stay. Okay, there we go. No, damn it.
Stay!
Leaned over poorly.
I mean, sometimes you succeed and sometimes you don't.
That was a don't.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't want to rub it in by pointing it out, but I figured you knew.
Well, when the thingy came off the mic, then we knew.
Why do you have your thingy on the mic? That's gross.
God damn it.
All right, we are back. And let's talk about Lanterns. This TV series is really pitched into high gear.
Yeah, it's moving suddenly. It's fun.
It's still technically in development, but it's about in production, y'all. It's already really there, but we just don't have a date.
Exactly.
Um,
Casting is the fun part. That's exciting.
Yeah, we've got, Aaron Pierre as Jon Stewart now.
Yeah.
We've got Kyle Chandler playing Hal Jordan. And, good Lord. Gunn said Pierre is somebody who he wanted to work with for a long time. People don't know, but he was almost cast as Adam Warlock in Volume 3. Huh. He's an amazing actor, and I just really admire him from the beginning of his career. Seeing him read with Kyle was one of those miraculous moments. I don't care what they're saying. I just love what they're saying together.
Okay.
All right.
And apparently the live-action Green Lantern show was conceived during a summit with the DCU writers' room, including Gunn, Drew Goddard, yes, of Marvel's Daredevil, Jeremy Slater of Moon Knight, Christina Hodson from Birds of Prey movie and the Flash movie, Crystal Henry from Watchmen, and, of course, Tom King, who co-wrote Lanterns with Chris Mundy of Ozark and True Detective, and Damon Lindelof of Lost and The Leftovers. That is quite a list.
table.
That's a lineup.
God damn.
That is crazy. And Gunn said that Mundy, Lindelof, and King are overseeing Lanterns and is preparing to shoot. So, he says, when we first started the DCU, the first couple of weeks of heading this out, we got together with a group of writers, and Tom King was one of those writers, and we were in this room, and we came up with sort of this concept for Lanterns. It's a much more very grounded series, a very real series, which is a strange thing to say about a Green Lantern show, but it's going to be something like nobody's ever seen before. I am excited about it.
Yeah, that last part is really... I don't want it to be grounded in a non-Lanterns way, of course.
Right.
But the last part of just nothing seen anything like this, that's exciting. That's a promise. That's high stakes.
It is. So they also just cast Kelly MacDonald as someone named Sheriff Carey, who is a no-nonsense woman deeply devoted to her family and close-knit town. Her resilience, shaped by a complex past that's hardened her resolve, anchors her when the community's secrets begin to surface.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they've also cast Greg Dillahunt of Fear the Walking Dead. He's been tapped for a major recurring role in Lanterns. He's playing modern cowboy William Macon, a self-righteous, conspiracy-minded man who masks his ruthless ambition behind a charming and calculated facade.
Okay.
And some people, I guess because his name is William, are thinking that maybe he's playing William Hand, a.k.a. the Black Hand, who winds up getting the cosmic divining rod and starting the whole, what's it called?
Black Knight? Blackest Night?
Blackest Night, yes. Some people are thinking that he's connected to that, and I mean, I guess I can see it.
If they're working towards that, that'd be cool. Sure.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it immediately happening, but maybe.
Again, that would be very ambitious.
Exactly.
They've been describing this premise as two intergalactic cops drawn into a dark Earth-based mystery as they investigate a murder in the American heartland.
Yeah. But that has to be relevant enough for it to attract the attention of two lanterns.
Yeah.
So, it can't just actually be Earth-based or there be no reason for them to show up.
It's an entire film where the whole time their rings are in their pockets.
Yeah, exactly. At that point, they're just feds. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
So I do suspect there's
two
more
attractive,
going on.
overqualified dudes yelling at each other in a desert.
I mean, are they overqualified in this specific...
I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a lot of fans who are crying. It's being like, man, their suits were too real. They're not CGI enough.
Yeah. We should have done full animated suits again, because that went over so well.
We didn't see the Lanterns doing anything cool. They were just like hanging out and talking about a mystery.
I'm sure they'll do some construct things. I'm also like sure they literally cannot go the too much CG route, because it was literally called out by Ryan Reynolds, and that means the entire mainstream pop culture now thinks it is stupid.
Yeah, I thought it was a fine idea. They just, again, like most of the movies happening right now, like they changed a bunch of shit in the middle of production, had a bunch of reshoots, and didn't have time to do it.
Yeah, and it was relatively, like, it was a couple years ago in terms of CGI progression, and there was just a lot of non-dark scenes. Those are hard.
I also just didn't think that the Green Lantern suit in any of the shots was that bad in that movie.
No, it's not
really
horrible. There are just some but it looks fake because it is fake, which but is also kind of the point.
Yeah,
the Green Lantern suit is fake.
That was my point. That conceit alone got me through the movie with...
Yeah, people just wouldn't go along with it. That's the issue.
I was just fine with it for exactly that reason. It was... We're borrowing from insanity here. I don't care. Mm-hmm. And altogether, the actual even the people who are in and made that movie hate it way more than I think it deserves.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Dynamic Duo looks like it might be getting an early 2028 release. That's the animated film about the two Robins, Dick Grayson and Jason Todd. The Swaybox Studios director Arthur Mintz was talking about it at the 2024 Lightbox Expo. And during the Warner Brothers animation panel, he said that they were eyeing a release in spring of 2028. So
that makes sense. Like, it takes a while to get it right, and also they want to do the Batman Brave and the Bold thing first, probably. Like, that makes sense for it not to be like, you haven't seen Batman yet, but also here's two Robins.
Yeah, and we don't know that this is DCU anyway.
Oh, right. Fair enough.
It might just be an Elseworlds.
I mean, but Gunn has been, yeah. I'd expect it not to be, but
I would appreciate him to go ahead and tag everything. Just let us know.
Excuse me, Mr. Gunn. Is this going to be DCU? No, it'll be an Elseworlds. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Gunn.
I took your 10-year plan. I made it some new cue cards. If you could just sort them for me.
I mean, it doesn't strike me as an Elseworlds kind of take, though. It's not something where I'm like, oh, this is so out there and different that it wouldn't fit in a quote-unquote regular DC universe.
I've already seen people complaining that, or not really complaining, but saying that, oh, it's animated, it has to be Elseworlds. And I'm like,
that's not the
Creature
case.
Commandos, the very first thing is animated.
Like, he specifically said, I want to bring all of these branches together, from animation to TV to movies.
He absolutely did.
To games. So that's why my default expectation is this is part of it. And not they announced a new project that has nothing to do with it, because that's something they're just not that interested in currently.
Yeah.
I feel like my default expectation is to have no expectation.
I mean, yes, but then,
that's the healthiest
second place. Sure, but I'm not a healthy person.
I am not either, but I'm tired of being burned and being angry about shit because of bullshit that I believed that I cooked up in my own head.
Sure, but I don't get angry. I just get deeply disappointed.
Well, that's not good either.
No, I know. I just, but it's preferable. Turn your anger inward and become suicidal instead of angry.
No, it's not preferable.
It's got a better body count.
It's not. I'm glad we landed that plane.
Oh, Jesus. Alrighty, well, moving on. Oh, my God. DCT.
That's what the T stands for.
It's just like it doesn't fit into anything.
Yeah.
So there are all these rumors out there that said Dua Lipa signed a 10-year contract. Maybe she's playing Satana. And James Gunn said, "Nah, man, that ain't happening." He says, as of now, that is debunked. And then he says, 10-year contract? Do they think this is the 1930s? I'm a Dua Lipa fan, but no. And he also, in a different thread, noted that Hollywood contracts are almost exclusively concerned with a number of projects, not the duration of the employment. And he did also say that, because we will talk about this later, and hopefully one of us will remember.
Ooh.
He said that this is not, like, in the contracts, they will say, like, an appearance is different from a cameo. Like, the appearances will be specified in detail and say, like, okay, well, it'll be, like, X amount of appearances in X amount of projects and then an X amount of cameos.
Yeah. Roles are different from, I popped up for half a scene. Like, yeah.
And then
a lot of people,
over where that's coming out, like versus media versus a streaming show or something.
Yeah.
They can often dictate where they're going to show up.
Because it would also just be weird. Like, they could record everything in 10 years that they might ever want to use and then use it for projects theoretically for like 100 years to come. Which is, like, wouldn't happen, but it would be weird if that were a contract.
But you don't want to, like, sign up for 3 appearances and get 2 great movies and then show up in, like, Werewolf by Night or something.
Right. All right, kids, sit down. I'm going to tell you about How I Met Your Superman.
I mean, you say that, but...
In 11 seasons, we're going to have some old-ass footage of David Corn Sweat.
You basically just grabbed Gotham.
I did. In a way. All righty. Well, back over to what has already come out, Joker 2. It did manage to cross 200 million globally.
Oh, boy.
It's such a flop, y'all.
Yeah,
it's such a flop.
Like,
it's so bad.
Oh,
barely a fifth of the original box office. So, like, I wonder what the chart is for that. Like, what the biggest differential is between a movie and its sequel.
Oh God,
I don't know.
The shortest legs. I don't know. I was wondering earlier myself.
Anyway,
because $1 billion of this is rough.
Yeah,
that's not what they were expecting. I'm fairly sure.
Well,
so yeah,
can see what kind of digital boost they've got. Because
speaking of which, it's already available as of October 29th on Amazon Prime and Apple and everywhere.
I saw that a few days ago and thought, that twists the knife.
Yeah.
And that's all the news I have.
Gotta end on a twisted knife.
Which look,
it makes some sense.
I continue to be gleeful about how much Joker 2 flopped, and I loved the movie.
Yeah.
It is exactly what was needed artistically.
Absolutely. It is one for the history books purely on the fact that, a director went, so y'all really like the last product. I didn't want you to like it in this particular way. Let me do it again. And this time, make sure that you understand that you're in the wrong.
And they still don't understand that. They think, he whiffed it.
Like, no, he clearly went all out in a direction.
You are making his point for him.
Yeah.
Failed grotesquely at making the movie they wanted. And what a shortcoming. No.
Just, if only they'd not had expectations. They
If
wouldn't
only.
have been so angry and or suicidal. I don't think anyone's suicidal over this movie, but if so, you have some big issues, like bigger than just the angry people online.
Yeah.
He wasn't the angry incel clown I wanted.
Yeah.
Or needed.
Yeah. Go to therapy, people.
Yeah.
Go to therapy. Also, go vote. But first, therapy.
I don't want those people to vote.
I want the angry incels to speed through, just speed running therapy in 2 days, then vote, hopefully well, and then,
Can you speed
go
date
back
therapy?
to therapy probably.
I wonder if you could. That'd be great. Just get like 20 therapists and 20 people that need it in the same room and just what would you have, 3 minutes each?
I personally wouldn't be like just an hour with each of them and 24 hours a day of therapy. I feel like that might help.
I need speed therapy.
I'm not getting sleep anyway.
You know how people do the speed dating?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to hop around to 20 different therapists and be like,
And
what do
pick
you
one
think?
that works.
Narcissist.
Well, yeah, that's
All right.
what I'm saying. It's like, I think
Nobody who meets you is ever going to think narcissist. I am sorry. Technically, narcissists are also deeply insecure, but in a way that is far more masked, and you compensate in very different ways.
Okay. I wasn't actually looking for a diagnosis from you. It was just the first thing I thought of, and it was a joke that I threw out there.
I've heard of jokes. I'm bad at recognizing them, but good at telling them.
Now look, I may have said that.
It is funny that was the first thing that popped into your head.
Well, yeah, because I'm a narcissist.
That part is self-fulfilling.
Oh,
Christ.
Like if you walked into a hospital and said, a lot of people lie to y'all about symptoms.
Oh. Anyway. Yeah.
I just think if you got 20 therapists and gave them all 3 minutes and they took just shot from the hip, I think about 2 of them probably are going to hit you with something that's just staggering.
Yeah.
Like most of them will
feel
miss. A few of them will get something. It'll feel like a cold read or a tarot card reading or something. But then a couple of them, you're just going to go, oh, God damn, what did you...
I feel
Why
like
did you
most
see
people
me
just
that hard?
refuse.
Yeah. I feel like they need to listen to... Someone needs to prepare them a good compilation of DC on Screen and Star Trek Universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe a couple of my old comedy sketches, and then they all get to diagnose me
Based off of that content?
Yeah.
Somehow I feel like that's worse than 3 minutes of interaction.
No, I
I
genuinely think you have a really fun idea for an AI bot.
Yeah.
I mean, there are
You
people...
just throw in whatever your creative out or history is to the AI bot, and the AI therapist bot just undoes it all and then grabs a few quotes from your own material and spits out what you are. Oh, fuck.
And sends an alert to the FBI.
I feel like that's somehow more irresponsible than actual AI, because that would just lead people to literally kill themselves.
That would be...
He relates to Catcher in the Rye too much. Beep, beep, boop.
That would be the equivalent of being caught naked with your actual bank account history in your hands. It would feel so
very vulnerable. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I made this, and AI thinks I should not have.
My bank account history just makes me think of it would be equivalent for me of that episode of King of the Hill where Hank gives Bobby like $1 in hopes that he'll do something wise with it. When he comes home, Bobby is crouched in front of the front door, ravenously consuming a burrito. Or a quesadilla or something. And he's like, this is what you did with the money I gave you with $1? And he goes, no, I got a value menu. I also got a quesadilla. I'm just, that's good. That is me with my bank account. It's my God, how many times do you need Taco Bell a week?
I mean, technically money is there to be able to feed yourself.
And I'm like, hey, guess what? My bank account doesn't show how many reward tacos I get from the app, so you don't even know the half of it.
Yeah,
they're basically just handing me a free flatbread melt every time I go through there now.
Hashtag free fire tier, baby.
I will pretend to know what that is.
That means I spend so much money at Taco Bell, they give me free shit.
Yeah,
cool. I don't have Taco Bell where I'm from. So
I earn points.
Yeah, you got points and a bank balance? Oof.
Yeah. I am an adult.
Yeah.
And on that note...
said that with the enthusiasm of a beaten child.
I mean...
Who's being made to act
sometimes you have
right.
to grow up fast. Oof.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I just had a minor flashback to being a child and being reprimanded for eating junk food because I'm going to spoil my dinner. And then dinner comes and it's a different fast food place.
Right. I didn't know we're having KFC.
I want a Taco Bell.
So that's why I had to put
Dad
down
was
the
bringing
churches from earlier, is because the KFC we were going to have. I see.
Yeah, more I want a Taco Bell, but they were like, that will spoil your dinner. Dad's bringing home Lee's fried chicken. Oh, of course. Anyway, that's all I've got. What you guys good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think we've shared enough childhood traumas.
Yeah.
All right.
For now.
Well, I hope everyone enjoyed this little journey into DC news and childhood trauma. And apparently my own belief that I am a narcissist.
I mean, do you believe that?
I actually
you
believe...
honestly believe you're good enough to be a narcissist?
No, I believe that this is a simulation and none of us are real.
Right. Yeah.
No, I think it might genuinely be the opposite of like the alcoholic issue of like, if you think you're an alcoholic, you probably are. And if you think you're a narcissist, you probably aren't, because normal ones don't ask that question.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's fine.
But also, if you don't think you're an alcoholic, you might also still be an alcoholic, right? Like,
It's that too, but
I'm not an alcoholic. I'm a narcissist.
I can stop whenever I want.
Yeah.
Maybe just don't
I've heard
diagnose
that
people online.
so much.
Oh.
I still want the AI bot. Let's get the AI bot to like listen to.
I just want an actual human person to look through all of my art and then diagnose me. That would be way worse.
No,
but also very
in
fun.
a way, no. It would
Yeah.
it would be weirder for the computer to get it, because if the computer got it right, it would feel calculated in a way that would hurt more. No matter no matter what the
Maybe.
human said, I could discount it somehow.
I would
Yeah,
never
that's
want
fair.
to like show my art to an AI and be like, diagnose me with a mental illness. And what they do is they just go like, you need art lessons. Oh, man.
Oh no!
Oh no, that would be fantastic. Well, we've looked at all of your art and we've diagnosed you with delusions of grandeur.
Oh. But I feel like it would hurt more coming from an actual human being, like relaying the results to
Yeah.
you.
Well, you know,
It shouldn't be a computerized voice. It should be your mom's voice. Like, you
Oh,
know,
God.
you need to project something onto that person.
I've said before, you know, like it has shifted in the last couple of years. You know, used to you would post some artwork and everyone just like, or you know, the assholes like to be, oh, it's traced, that's traced. And now you post anything and they're like, it's AI.
Joke's on you. It's AI that I traced.
I want to like showcase my artwork to an AI for him or it to diagnose me, and then it just says traced.
I mean, that seems like a pretty simple
Oh
bot.
no, what's
You
worse?
just
It,
input anything.
it would say traced.
Output
And you're like,
traced.
oh no, you mean the art? And it's like, no, your personality. Oh fuck.
Oh!
Yeah.
Fuck.
No, my personality is all AI that I traced.
I'm very confused now.
I think this outro is going well.
Yeah, for the people who turned away minutes ago, it went fantastic.
Yeah.
When they were like, oh, it's over,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They went,
it
oh,
is.
there's a new Conan O'Brien.
Is that stage of the show where,
Let's go listen to literally anything else.
you know, at the end of the podcast when you're looking for the next one in the playlist that you were thinking you were going to do next, and you eventually realize
Yeah,
there's
you
still
need some
someone
time.
talking in your ear.
Like, reorder that cue while we are bullshitting.
Yeah.
I really, really want to have just talked in someone's ear right then while they were doing that. It will make me so happy.
The right timing, yeah.
If that just happened, please write in and let us know.
Absolutely.
That will give Jason another 3 years minimum.
Yeah. I mean,
And we need those 3 years. Let's be real.
my attention span is so bad that I could listen to this episode myself and do it to myself if I really put an honest effort into it.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
I
I could know it was coming and still zone out.
Yeah.
That too. And then rewind
Like me
and
with an
try
orgasm.
again
Yeah.
and fuck up again.
That's how edging was really invented. People just couldn't fucking focus.
ADHD, masturbation. I got real close, then I noticed something shiny.
A squirrel came by my window.
Was gonna bust one, then I googled something.
I remembered the name of this porn star and just really wanted to know what she's doing these days.
Suddenly,
Oh, she wrote a book. How cool. Should I order this book?
Yeah.
Is it on Amazon? Maybe I should wait for Black Friday to. When is Black Friday? Anyway.
I mean, genuinely, I was really, really getting there, but then I couldn't decide if I thought she was 5'7" or 5'6", and just. Long
Yeah,
story
that's
short,
a
her parents
question
live in
I've
Wisconsin.
asked. Exactly. Her birth certificate says.
All right, well,
Hope you enjoyed that. Hope your queue is reordered.
hope
know
you
what you're
don't.
listening to next.
Hope you weren't driving while you were doing all of that.
Oh, please don't. Yeah.
Don't, yeah.
Pull over. Just onto the emergency lane or whatever it's called in English.
Yeah, I think it's illegal to look at a phone now in our state. So,
Well, I've seen you break some laws.
Oh, yes. I break plenty.
it was a new law.
Truly a bad boy.
I'm like, y'all, you can pull me over, but I'm literally using it as a GPS.
Yeah.
I'm putting it in
I have
hands-free
to know
mode
where
right
I'm going.
now. With your hands?
Do you have to know where you're going? It's all a simulation anyway.
That's true.
I don't know where I'm going with my life or this sentence.
We're certainly with the money for this court fee.
Shit.
Because once you start calling officers names like NPC, they get real pissed.
If they know what it means.
They're either going to not know and get mad or actually know and get mad.
Yeah. Which scenario is more likely to get me shot in this country?
Them. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Two of those two.
Yes.
Conceivable.
Yes. The answer is yes. Okay.
All right. Well, until next time, keep some DC on your screen.
Bye.
Bye.